Bem-vindo ao Deep Dumps. No Deep Dumps, nossa missão é ajudá-lo a passar nos exames de certificação com confiança. Acesse os exames de prática mais recentes, PDFs e testes online, sempre atualizados conforme os padrões reais. Com nosso material pronto para o exame, você terá os recursos certos sempre à mão. Milhares de alunos confiam no Deep Dumps, e muitos conquistam a aprovação já na primeira tentativa. Oferecemos suporte 24 de julho por e-mail ou chat ao vivo. E nossos especialistas estão prontos para esclarecer dúvidas e orientá-lo passo a passo. Baixe as perguntas e respostas em PDF. Pratique com questões de qualidade e explicações claras. E avance rumo ao sucesso garantido.
Question 1. Your customer asks you if it's possible to perform HPE Synergy initial setup remotely. How should you respond? Option A. Remote HPE Synergy setup is possible if HPE Composer 2 is used and a DHCP server is available in the management network. Option B. HPE Synergy can be configured remotely through a secure connection to the FLM if this option was enabled in a factory. Option C. HPE Synergy cannot be deployed remotely, as initial setup must be performed using a local console connection. Option D. Remote HPE Synergy installation can be done only if an additional set of the services was purchased together with hardware. Platform. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. HPE Synergy can be configured remotely through a secure connection to the FLM if this option was enabled in a factory. Question 2. Your customer built a server profile for HPE Synergy General 10 server and configured boot mode to legacy BIOS. Which feature is not available for this compute module? Option A. Boot from SAN. Option B. Secure boot. Option C. Workload profile. Option D. BIOS management. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Secure boot. Question 3. How can your customer implement HPE OneView so that it can be used to manage an HPE ProLiant server and HPE Blade system? Option A. As a virtual appliance running on the supported hypervisor. Option B. As an application running on the server with CentOS Linux system. Option C. As an application running on the server with Windows system. Option D. As a physical appliance based on HPE ProLiant 360 Gen 10. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A is a virtual appliance running on the supported hypervisor. Question 4. Refer to the exhibit. You discovered that one of the profiles is not compliant with the server profile template. What could cause this profile to be inconsistent with the server profile template? Option A. Network connectivity for HPE Synergy Compute Module was changed outside HPE OneView. Option B. Changes to the server profile were implemented directly on the server profile. Option C. The server was powered off or rebooted recently and ILO did not reconnect to HPE OneView. Option D. HPE OneView was restored from a backup that created inconsistency with the server profile template. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Network connectivity for HPE Synergy Compute Module was changed outside HPE OneView. Question 5. You originally configured boot mode for HPE ProLiant General 10 server to legacy BIOS in an HPE OneView server profile and deployed an operating system. A few weeks later, You change the boot mode to the UEFI optimized to leverage some features provided by this mode. What must you do next? Option A. Reset an ILO management processor to activate the new boot mode for the server. Option B. Reinstall an operating system, as UEFI is using different drive format than legacy BIOS. Option C. Reset BIOS settings to the defaults so UEFI settings can be applied. Option D. Reset BIOS settings to the defaults through the server profile after changing the boot mode. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Reset an ILO management processor to activate the new boot mode for the server. Question 6. Which statement regarding HPE1-View backup restore is true? Option A. During backup restore, users with administrator privileges can still log into HPE1-View. Option B. An HPE1-View backup can be used to restore individual components like server profile. Option C. Users with backup administrator privileges can restore an HPE1-View backup. Option D. Only users with infrastructure administrator privileges can restore an HPE1-View backup. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Only users with infrastructure administrator privileges can restore an HPE1-View backup. Question 7. Which statement about a server profile for an Apollo system is true? Option A. Enclosure group is automatically selected. Option B. Fiber channel connections can be defined. Option C. UEFI optimized is the only available boot mode. Option D. Virtual WWNs and MAC addresses can be defined. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Fiber channel connections can be defined. Question 8. Your customer runs VMware SXE on an HPE Synergy platform. The SXE systems must have access to 50 VLANs initially. However, this is a dynamic environment, and more VLANs will be added in the future. They want to add more networks for virtual machines, but they do not want to modify the HPE Virtual Connect configuration. Which type of the network should the customer define? Option A. Untagged. Option B. Internal. Option C. Tunnel. Option D. Tagged. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Tagged. Question 9. Which licenses are optional to be purchased separately for HPE Synergy? Option A. Global Dashboard licenses. Option B. FC Upgrade licenses. Option C. HPE1-View licenses. Option D. Virtual Connect licenses. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. FC Upgrade licenses. Question 10. You try to add a new connection within a server profile, but an operation fails when you try to commit the changes. What is a possible reason? Option A. You tried to add additional connection above the limit. Option B. The server is powered on. Option C. The server does not have an HPE1-View license applied. Option D. The server is powered off. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. The server is powered on. Question 11. Your customer is considering HPE Synergy as a hardware platform for virtualization workload. The customer environment is very dynamic, and they often have to modify hypervisor networking. Which resource provided by HPE should you discuss with this customer? Option A. HPE1-View Global Dashboard allows server profile replication and change management. Option B. HPE1 for VMware vCenter Server will enable host profile functionality and simplify changes. Option C. PowerShell library for HPE1 allows scripted environment modification. Option D. HPE Image Streamer provides templates which can be updated to map the hypervisor requirements. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. PowerShell library for HPE1 allows scripted environment modification. Question 12. You have created volumes using array management tools and imported the volumes to HPE1. Which statement about these volumes is true? Option A. Imported volumes are treated as private volumes and can be only used as boot volumes. Option B. Volumes imported to HPE1 is managed just like a volume created using HPE1. Option C. Volumes imported to HPE1 cannot be removed using the HPE1 interface. Option D. A snapshot for imported volumes can be created only by using array management tools. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. A snapshot for imported volumes can be created only by using array management tools. Question 13. Refer to the exhibit. Which statement about the logical interconnect shown is true? Option A. The maximum supported number of the internal networks for logical interconnect is configured. Option B. For FC uplink sets, an additional uplink from second module should be added for redundancy. Option C. Additional uplink ports can be added to eth uplink to increase available bandwidth. Option D. FC uplinks are not supported and will be converted to FCOE or ROS uplinks. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. The maximum supported number of the internal networks for logical interconnect is configured. Question 14. You are implementing an HPE Synergy solution with multiple frames in one management ring. Image Streamer is not a part of this solution. How can an IPv4 address pool defined by the administrator be used in HPE1? Option A. To provide static IP addresses for an operating system running on a compute module. Option B. To provide static IP addresses for logical interconnects and logical enclosures. Option C. To provide static IP addresses to ILOs and interconnect modules if applicable. Option D. To provide static IP addresses for storage systems managed in HPE1. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. To provide static IP addresses to ILOs and interconnect modules if applicable. Question 15. Refer to the exhibit. A customer complains that firmware compliance is empty. The customer confirmed that Synergy Service Pack is uploaded to the HPE1 repository. How should you respond? Option A. The firmware repository is not defined within firmware compliance report. Option B. The firmware repository service must be restarted using maintenance connection. Option C. The refresh procedure must be performed on each logical enclosure to refresh firmware. Option D. All of the components are up to date and compliant with firmware baseline. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. The firmware repository service must be restarted using maintenance connection. Question 16. What is required to add remote frame link topology to HPE1? Option A. The IP address assigned to HPE Composer installed in a remote site must be registered in a primary site. Option B. Multi-site licenses must be added to HPE1-View and activate for all available HPE Synergy frames. Option C. The HPE1-View certificate from the primary site must be added to HPE1-View in the remote site. Option D. Management ports of the remote frame link topology must be connected to the management LAN. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Management ports of the remote frame link topology must be connected to the management LAN. Question 17. You want to update the firmware for only two HPE Synergy Virtual Connect, say 32 gigabits FC modules of a large environment. From which level must this procedure be initiated? Option A. Logical enclosure. Option B. Logical interconnect. Option C. Server profile. Option D. Logical interconnect group. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, server profile. Question 18. Your customer has an environment with 5 HPE Synergy composers and 15 HPE1-View appliances managing servers that run VMware. The customer is having a hard time managing their servers. What can the customer do to simplify management of this complex environment? Option A. Deploy HPE1-View for VMware vCenter Server. Option B. Deploy HPE1-View Global Dashboard. Option C. Use an Ansible playbook. Option D. Integrate all HPE1-View appliances and HPE composers with Active Directory. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, deploy HPE1-View Global Dashboard. Question 19. Refer to the exhibit. Your customer created multiple networks in HPE1-View, but only ETH1 is available to be used within a server profile. What is a likely cause of this situation? Option A. The other networks are not configured with the required smart link parameter. Option B. The other networks are configured with a purpose other than general or management. Option C. The other networks have private network selected, which hides them from compute modules. Option D. The other networks are not added to the logical interconnect group configuration. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. The other networks have private network selected, which hides them from compute modules. Question 20. A customer has to deploy 21 HPE Synergy compute modules in a boot from SAN setup. How this task can be simplified while keeping the profile consistent? Option A. Boot volumes can be created on demand and defined in the server profile template. Option B. An existing volume can be replicated automatically when creating a server profile. Option C. A single SAN volume can be created and utilized by all eSynergy compute modules. Option D. Boot volumes can be prepared in advance and later presented as shared volumes to the compute modules. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Boot volumes can be created on demand and defined in the server profile template. Question 21. Refer to the exhibit. Which statement about the storage pools shown is true? Option A. Volumes created on the first storage pool cannot use data reduction technologies. Option B. Both storage pools are in a managed state and can be used for volume provisioning. Option C. HPE1-View can be used to configure volume replication between these pools. Option D. Both storage pools have a license applied that enables management of these pools. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Both storage pools are in a managed state and can be used for volume provisioning. Question 22. Which locations are supported for HPE OneView Remote Scheduled Backup? Choose 2. Option A. SCP. Option B. HTTPS. Option C. SFTP. Option D. HTTP. Option E. FTP. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A SCP, option C SFTP. Question 23. What event occurs on ILO when an HPE ProLiant server is added to HPE OneView? Option A. IPMI credentials are configured for the ILO. Option B. REST API plugin is enabled for ILO. Option C. Active Directory configuration is performed on ILO. Option D. SSO certificate is added to the ILO. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. REST API plugin is enabled for ILO. Question 24. Refer to the exhibit. Which statement about server connections is true? Option A. LACP on downlinks is configured for Ethernet connection. Option B. All connections within the server profile are using physical IDs. Option C. Ethernet connection is configured to boot from PXE. Option D. Storage array is connected directly to an HPE Synergy frame. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Ethernet connection is configured to boot from PXE. Question 25. Which statement about ROS network restrictions is true? Option A. ROS networks are supported only when PVLANs are enabled. Option B. ROS networks are not supported with HPE Blade system. Option C. ROS networks cannot be configured when Virtual Connect modules are used. Option D. ROS networks require Virtual Connect say 32 gigabits FC modules. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. ROS networks are not supported with HPE Blade system. Question 26. Within HPE OneView you can configure SNMPv1 read community string. What is the purpose of this feature? Option A. This is an SNMP community string that will be used when traps are forwarded to a WBEM provider. Option B. This is an SNMP community string that will be used when traps are forwarded to other SNMP applications. Option C. This is an SNMP community string that will be used to receive a trap's SNMP agent. Option D. This is an SNMP community string that will be used to receive traps from HPE onboard administrators. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. This is an SNMP community string that will be used to receive a trap's SNMP agent. Question 27. What is the best practice when deploying an HPE OneView appliance? Option A. Deploy the appliance in a hypervisor cluster that is not managed by OneView. Option B. Use thin provisioning for the HPE OneView appliance to save storage capacity. Option C. Enable VMware fault tolerance if the appliance is deployed to a VMware hypervisor. Option D. Deploy 2 HPE OneView appliances and configure them in HA mode. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Deploy the appliance in a hypervisor cluster that is not managed by OneView. Question 28. How will setting the purpose field within the network definition of a server profile impact the network traffic? Option A. Network purpose can give higher priority for a specific type of traffic. Option B. Network purpose will impact the traffic only if virtual connect modules are used. Option C. Network purpose will define cause within logical interconnect. Option D. Network purpose does not affect the behavior of the network. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Network purpose will define cause within logical interconnect. Question 29. You are creating a logical interconnect group for a 3-frame HPE Synergy solution with HPE Virtual Connect SE100G Flat F32 modules for Synergy. In which scenario should you set redundancy for master modules to be highly available? Option A. When storm control or loop protection will be enabled for Virtual Connect modules. Option B. When each of the frames has 2 Virtual Connect modules installed. Option C. When each Virtual Connect module is installed in different frame. Option D. When each Virtual Connect module is installed in different fabric. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. When each Virtual Connect module is installed in different frame. Question 30. Your customer wants to manage their HPE Superdome Flex using HPE OneView. Which component must be added to HPE OneView to accomplish this task? Option A. Baseboard Management Controller, BMC. Option B. Rack Management Controller, RMC. Option C. All NPARs created within the complex. Option D. Only the base chassis from the complex. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Rack Management Controller, RMC. Question 31. Which statement about an HPE OneView server profile is true? Option A. A server profile can be used to update firmware and drivers when the operating system on the server is up and running. Option B. A server profile created for a specific server hardware type cannot be moved to a server with a different server hardware type. Option C. A server profile can be used to configure a local storage controller, but cannot be used to configure SAN-based storage. Option D. A server profile can be created only for HPE Blade system, HPE Synergy, and HPE Superdome Flex servers. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. A server profile created for a specific server hardware type cannot be moved to a server with a different server hardware type. Question 32. Where is the association between an HPE OneView network and uplink port defined? Option A. Within an enclosure group definition. Option B. Within an HPE OneView network definition. Option C. At the network set level. Option D. At the logical interconnect group level. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. At the logical interconnect group level. Question 33. Which statement about server hardware types is true? Option A. Once selected in the server profile, the server hardware type cannot be changed, and a server profile can be moved only between the same type of servers. Option B. Server hardware type can be defined only for HPE Synergy and HPE Blade system, but it cannot be defined for HPE ProLiant or Apollo systems. Option C. Administrator has to manually define the server hardware type for any unique server architecture and mezzanine card combination. Option D. The server hardware type is automatically created when a server with unique architecture and mezzanine card configuration is added to HPE OneView. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Once selected in the server profile, the server hardware type cannot be changed, and a server profile can be moved only between the same type of servers. Question 34. Your customer plans to use HPE1-View to manage a small environment based on HPE ProClient servers that includes G7 and General 10 systems. What should you explain to this customer? Option A. HPE ProClient G7 and General 10 cannot be managed using the same appliance. Option B. HPE Management Agent must be installed for HPE ProClient General 10 servers. Option C. Not all of the features will be available for HPE ProClient G7 systems. Option D. HPE ProClient General 10 servers do not need an HPE1-View license. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. HPE ProClient General 10 servers do not need an HPE1-View license. Question 35. Which action is allowed on storage pools managed by HPE1-View? Option A. Volume provisioning. Option B. Setting storage pool replication. Option C. Changing storage pool RAID level. Option D. Changing storage pool capacity. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Volume provisioning.